My name is Paula Nguyen. I am the Program Director for Tourism here in Columbia's tourism sites. So why should you visit Columbia exactly? So Columbia has one of the best beaches to explore, fronting both the Pacific and Caribbean. Columbia is also blessed with picture-perfect beaches and sun-kissed sand. Columbia is nicknamed the Gateway to South America simply because it sits on the northwestern part of South America and it also connects with Central and North America. The landscape is marked by rainforest, Andes Mountains, and the numerous coffee plantations and snow-covered volcanoes. There are also white waterfalls that pour out of the forest, covered by bluffs, for whales and dolphins that actually frolic in the ocean. So Colombia is actually one of many people's dream places to visit. So Colombia's natural tourism allows travelers from around the world to go out and visit over 50 protected nature parks that also provide a wide variety of topography that range from jungles, beaches, forests, and other natural attractions. An interesting trend in majority of South American nations is the preservation of the past colonial powers. So at one point, Colombia was actually under the control of the Spanish Empire, and even today, the Spanish architecture can also be seen in old colonial buildings, churches, and even postmodernist movement of the Colombian architecture. So the WTO's Code of Ethics state that people in society have a mutual understanding and respect. Tourism is definitely needed to sustain a healthy economy and help residents have jobs. So as far as why you should visit Colombia, starting off with Colombia's rainforest, Colombia is actually home to 10% of the Amazon rainforest. It covers over 400,000 square kilometers. How does someone explore and research that much land? So the Amazonas regions are also very high in humidity with an average temperature of 28 degrees year-round, but still get an average of 100 millimeters of rainfall a month. So there are also pumas, deers, and medicinal plants that are actually used in ancient traditions, such as mahogany and cedar. The Amazonian life is very different from civilization. It's like nature is putting on a show with all the amazing wildlife that actually reside there. So somewhere else that you can actually visit is Bogota, Colombia. They have the most famous and most fascinating museum in all of South America that applies to historic tourism. The National Geographic magazine actually published on its website that this museum in Colombia is one out of the 16 best museums in history of the world. The Gold Museum contains more than 55,000 pieces of gold and other materials such as ceramics, goldsmiths, and textiles from all major prehistoric cultures in Colombia. So with 3 floors laid out in the museum, they come in 5 logical thematic rooms with all the descriptions in Spanish and even in English for Spanish tourisms or tourists and English tourists as well. They actually get to explore an extraordinary collection as well as get to experience the different indigenous cultures that settled in present-day Colombia before the arrival of the Spaniards. So Colombia is actually also known for its coffee. Colombia actually has this thing called Coffee Triangle. The Coffee Triangle is known as one of Colombia's best geography for coffee production and also happens to be very, very ideal for tourists to come and explore the Colombian culture. Coffee grows best in volcanic soil and high altitudes and requires a frost-free climate with a minimum of 80 inches of rain a year. There actually is a coffee picker at the Café de Santa Barbara farm that supplies freshly harvested coffee and roasted beans to craft roasters outside of Colombia, such as the United States and Canada. So basically, for tourism, I compared it to Brazil. So differences, the nations between Colombia and Brazil. Brazil has a large mass of South America, but Colombia is one of the smallest nations and shares a border with Panama and connects to the Central America, like I stated earlier. So Colombia has had a rise in dark tourism as tourists from all around the world flock to Colombia to see that once was Pablo Escobar. Escobar's most trusted gunman, Popeye, has started to gain a following on social media, hoping to move from his past, but also actually enjoy the glory days as well. So Brazil is actually also known for FIFA, the World Cup. They actually hosted the 2014 World Cup and the 2016 Summer Olympic Games. However, a good portion of the Brazilian populace was actually against hosting the 2014 World Cup, as the government was more focused on temporary tourism that would come to watch all of the competing nations and not on more of a permanent fixes on the local infrastructure. Brazil actually also hosts about 60% of American rainforest within its borders, but also seen a rise in deforestation for farming productions. So amongst Colombia's tourism, you should definitely come out and see all the different things that Colombia has to offer, ranging from the beaches, the mountains, the rainforest, the animals, whales, if you're interested in whales, as well as the delicious coffee that they actually have to offer as well.